on the court, I would hop on them and shoot my shot before they came back down. If you miss, you're fucked. Like you're gonna get mad at yourself. Like fuck, I can't miss. Whatever. From there, I remember. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember.
You there?
There we go. Yeah, yeah, I remember going to St. Bernard's in Bellflower,
Hmm.
and then over there we would play basketball like every day. And then we had a couple dudes there, Charles Odom, played at Portland State, DeMar Hill, a bunch of dudes. And over there, like during that time is when the And One mixtape era came out.
Oh yeah,
So I was like
crazy time.
probably like fourth, fifth grade when I got on the first team over there. It was like the younger team because that fourth, fifth, and sixth grade is one team, and then you got seventh and eighth grade. So I was playing on the fourth, fifth, and sixth grade team, and then like we killed everyone in the area. We were doing like hand one moves, like we were just having fun, going crazy.
Yeah.
And then the big thing there, like I didn't know any basketball, like I just knew we had recess and lunch, and that 15 minutes of recess and 30 minutes of lunch, we were going crazy. Like we were like, yo, we can't waste any minute of this. We got to hoop.
Straight to the court when the bell rings.
Yeah. Right when you get up classroom, like, yo, let's go. We made the teams upstairs. We're like, all right, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, whatever it was. And then my big thing was Skip to My Lou. I used to watch Skip to My Lou all the time.
Oh yeah.
And then the first thing about basketball that I loved was when I would cross someone, and then my friends or the crowd would be like, would scream like, ooh, like that made my heart like feel good, like whatever that feeling was. I was like damn, that's tight. Like I like that feeling. So the big thing for me was like I want to cross people. Like I want to break ankles.
Yeah.
And it was fun. So I watched a lot of Skip to My Lou, Hot Sauce. It's probably like a bad blueprint to start from, but it's what happened,
Yeah.
And then
I
yeah, go ahead.
I noticed like around that time when the And One mixtape started, like when the whole New York streetball culture started getting more mainstream, so much more interest from a lot of players got better. A lot of dudes got better because they just started working on their handles more, and it was a that was a really shifting time in basketball culture in our area because we were never introduced to that playground hoop, and when we were introduced to it, it was like a whole nother world. You know what I mean? So that you could say that's pretty much your foundation to start with, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So then, after you were introduced to that street ball lifestyle, that's what probably brought you into the game. How do you what progressed you into like moving more forward in developing maybe more of the fundamentals? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who like helped you progress more in that?
Probably in well our middle school team was pretty good, and like when I got to eighth grade I got more serious, and then I joined a travel team. So there's the Bellflower League, right? Like every city has
Yeah.
their like city league, right? So like Bellflower has their Bellflower Youth League, or like Carson Youth League, or whatever. So I joined the Bellflower League. I was playing with my middle school teammates, and then um, one day, like I was practicing in the gym, and this dude came up to me and he's like, "Hey, you ever play on the travel team?" And I was like, "Oh no, man! Like I just play basketball, right?" And then so he asked me like, "Oh, do you want to play with us this weekend?" So I told my dad, and like I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then his name was Anya Wilson, by the way. And shout out to Anya.
Anya, I remember
He brought
Anya.
me, yeah, Anya. He coached at Linwood, and forgot where else. But, so we ended up playing at that same gym. Um, there we go. Yeah,
Go
we
on.
ended up playing. Who did we play? We played this team from Paramount, right? I forgot their name. It was called like ABA Hoops or something like that, right? And I remember the jerseys because it was like orange and blue. It was like the old Cavs colors, and they just stuck out of my mind because that's the first team that like I played against where I was like, oh shit, dude, these dudes are good, right? Because usually like in middle school, like we were like waxing dudes, like it was too easy. Like we were, just doing some fun. We were just fast break, cherry pick, and all that. And then I came to this, and like, bro, I couldn't even bring the ball up the court. Like I was
Yeah.
dribbling up the court, and like I was like, yo, this is hard. Like whatever the feeling I had in my head was like, yo, this is harder than usual. So I'm like, yo, this
Yeah.
is some real shit right here. And then it turns out after that game, I think it was like a tryout for me or something, and they're like, "Yo, like we want you." The good thing was I kept going. Like I was turning that ball over, but I didn't stop. Like I just kept going. I was playing hard. I didn't know nothing else but to play hard. And then
Yeah.
so the coach was like, "Yo, like we're gonna start a travel team. Like come play with us in this next tournament. We practice over here. If you need a ride, I'll pick you up." Since he lived in Bellflower, but we practiced in Linwood. So
Yeah.
then basically like the whole team. So I was the only Filipino dude, right? And then everyone else was, like African American. And I think this was a big part of me getting to where I'm at today. So at a young age, I was introduced to that. So he would pick me up. We would be like 10 deep in a expedition, maybe like 11 deep. The whole team was in there basically. And we go down Linwood. He would pick up everyone. We go down Linwood. We would practice, and like I would get my ass whooped because I'd never experienced this before. Like
Yeah.
dudes that are taller than me. They probably got the same handle, but they're taller, stronger. And this is like
More
probably sixth
athletic.
or seventh
Yeah.
grade. And we're like at Linwood High School. Not in Linwood High School. We're at Bullis Middle School, I think. It was
Uh-huh.
in Linwood, and it was this dirty gym. Like I'm talking about. Once you step foot, you're like, okay, I have no grip on this court. No matter what
Yeah.
shoes I have, there's no grip. It's dark, it's dusty, but we would be there every day, or like not every day. I'm talking about like maybe Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we would play on the weekends. And this
Yeah.
is when like this was my introduction to the brothers. Like this is where the hoop was
Yeah,
at.
man.
We would go play. We play in Linwood every weekend. We would play. I remember one time we were playing at halftime during a Drew League game, like up at the Drew Middle School, like
Really?
because yeah, so we had a tournament up there, and I remember this is the part I was like, damn, like when I didn't really know nothing, but I was like, damn, this place is pretty like looks pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie, like I was a kid and my dad would come up there, so it would be me, my dad, and like I bet you everyone's looking at my dad like, who the fuck is this dude? And then
Yeah, man.
yeah, we would go up there. We had a tournament, and then to win the championship, it was a tie, and they ran out of gym time. So say, hey, you guys got to come back later and play at halftime of the Drew League game. And so we played at halftime 5 minutes for the Drew League game, in between the Drew League game, or during the Drew League game, 5 minutes, whoever has the most after 5 minutes. And we were playing, I think it was All American Hoops. And every time I saw these people, I was like, yo, damn, we got to play these dudes. These dudes are tough. They had like these all-star looking jerseys. They had a dude, Leon McFadden. I went to high school with him. He plays in the NFL now. They had a bunch of dudes.
What?
Justin Cobbs. I think Justin
Okay.
Cobbs was there. I'm not too
He's still
sure.
playing
Yeah,
too. I
but
think somewhere. I think maybe
somewhere
Europe.
in Europe. Yeah, he's killing it. But I just remember
Dang.
that moment too because it was you had everyone in this little ass gym, and we got these little kids playing 5-on-5 for 5 minutes, going hard,
This is
but it
this
was
is in
fun though.
eighth grade. This is in eighth
Nah, this
grade.
is like seventh, I think, seventh or
Wow.
sixth grade.
So
So yeah.
talk about that experience, man, and I can relate to it. Always being the only Filipino dude on the court, in the gym, everywhere, man. And
Hmm.
with me, it always felt like, like it felt it was always a challenge because there's people always like they're always saying something. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's kind of like you got to be a little more mentally tough. So talk about your experiences always being the only Asian dude on the court and having to hear the jokes, having to hear people talking shit all the time about you being Asian. Like talk about that, man.
Oh man, yeah. So yeah, it started once I got on that team immediately. Even my own teammates, like they were like, "What's up, Bruce Lee? What's up, Jackie Chan?" Or like all of
Yeah,
that. So I was like, "Damn, what the hell?" I would hear it every day, every single day. And then so we would get to the tournaments, right? And we weren't the richest team, but we were good. Like, we had like a jersey. Sometimes it wouldn't match. Like I think we borrowed jerseys, and we finally ended up getting our own like later on. But yeah, so I would be up in the tournament, right? I would start like pretty much all the games, and then immediately off the bat, they're like, "Yo, I got the Chinaman," or at the time Yao Ming was in the league, so they're like, "Hey, somebody get Yao Ming." And I'm looking like, bro, I'm only like 5'6", and these fools are calling me Yao Ming, right? Like, whatever, bro. But I distinctly remember this one time, like, we used to play the Long Beach 70, Long Beach Sixers. A bunch of
Okay.
dudes from like Jordan High School, or that ended up going to Jordan High School, Wilson, and we would play them all the time. They were like our local, like like little rival. And then they had these two guards that they would press the whole game. They were that type of team. So, and I'd get used to breaking it, but here and there, whatever, I would like turn it over, and then they'd be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Get the Chinaman, get the Chinaman, like yelling it, bro. And like, I got used to it, but like, it prepared me for certain events. Like,
Yeah.
I just distinctly remember Long Beach Sixers, get the Chinaman all the time. Like, I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
But,
And it doesn't stop. Like you hear it all the way up to college.
no, it doesn't stop. No, not at
It
all.
doesn't
But the good
stop.
thing is when you get to college, now there's Jeremy Lin. They're like, yo, get Jeremy Lin. I'm like, oh, that's cool,
Yeah.
Jeremy Lin. Like,
That's a good
but
comparison.
yeah, it's better than Yao Ming. I'm like, yo, Yao Ming and Chinaman, whatever. But
And
yeah,
it's
I
funny
accepted the
because
Jeremy Lin.
it's like we're not even the same Asian, man. You know what I
No,
mean?
like that's the funny thing. Like, growing up, not a lot of people at that time knew what Filipino was. They were just like,
Yeah.
yo, he looks Asian, or he's Chinaman, or whatever, Korean. But
Yeah.
um,
It's funny,
I
man.
didn't really care.
It's but it's something that it kind of builds that thick skin, you know, having to deal with that. Because at
Yeah,
first you're like, man, what the fuck? Why you guys talking all this shit? But it's like you hear it all the
yeah,
time to where it's like, okay, this is just part of the culture, like of this,
yeah.
of basketball. This is how you build that camaraderie. You know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
it makes you tougher at the same time.
Yeah. The
You know
one
what I
thing I
mean?
liked about it though is I actually thrived off of it. So
Yeah.
going back to when I was a kid and I liked crossing people, right? So you automatically are on the like when they see you walking in the gym, you're automatically like this
I'm
is a
like your
fact, I
target.
believe. Like yeah, they're like,
You're a
yo, like
target.
they don't expect nothing, right? So when I first got on this team and I was going around like the LA area playing, they're just like, oh, like go at them, whatever. And then I would cross dudes. Like I would make dudes fall in the seventh grade, and I was known for it in that area. They were like, they would. Oh, and that's when I got soy sauce. They're like, yo, soy sauce, and I was like, oh, that's tight, bro. Like soy sauce, that is tight. Because I was an and one fan, and I was watching, hot sauce, and that dudes called me soy sauce. So I was like, I took it to heart. I was like, yo, every time I get on the court, I'm giving them a hezzy cross. I'm giving them a
Yeah.
behind the back, whatever, pull back, and I would make dudes fall, and I'd be like, yeah, and the crowd would go crazy because, yo, it's the Asian dude, and then I thrived
Yeah.
off of it. So I made it a point to first play the game. I'm doing something. I'm trying to make this dude fall, whatever. So once the crowd is like, I'm like, oh, it's over, bro. Like it's over.
Yeah, man.
So
It's a good
that's
feeling
how I
to
used to
kind of,
thrive off of it.
yeah, it's a good feeling to prove everybody wrong that's already doubting you right when you step in the gym just because of how you look.
Hmm. Yeah, I loved
So,
it.
yeah, man. Let's talk about like you've dealt with a lot of injuries in your career, man, all the way dating back to high school,
Yeah.
and having to, I know your story, but let me hear your story and like how you dealt with at Bosco, dealing with all the injuries there, and still being able to earn a scholarship to Hope International and doing what you did there, and
Yeah.
talk about that, the injuries and not only the physical recovery, but also the mental part, man. Where a lot of people give
Yeah.
up when they endure like really tough injuries. So speak
Hmm.
on that, man. What you had to go through at an early age.
All right. So when I look at my career, I kind of look at it like in like four parts, I guess. So middle school, like I have no injuries there. I actually had one. It was like an ankle sprain. So I used to skateboard. Skateboarding was like one of my first things, and then I sprained my ankle pretty bad, and that's when I started going serious in basketball. Because I was like, I ain't trying to skate no more. My ankle hurts, whatever. So whatever. High school, it was like I had a lot of ankle injuries, probably stemming from the skateboarding injury. Now that I look back on it, and then up until my senior year. So my senior year, um,
You
That
didn't
was
play
the
your
hardest I
senior
ever
year.
worked. No, I did.
What'd
I
you?
played 6 games.
Okay.
So first 3 years, like I was having ankle sprains on and off, like mainly sophomore year and junior year. But senior year, oh, speaking of sophomore year, I broke my ankle. I think that's what started it. I was in my backyard. in between a tournament, right? So there's the guard tournament. You have preseason tournament. You got Cerritos tournament at Cerritos High School, and then you got the guard tournament. It was my first time on varsity, and then I started my first game against Laguna Beach High School or something like that, and then we won, and then we had a day off, and then we were gonna play Los Al with Landry Fields and Richard
Oh,
Miracle, my
nice.
homie, a couple other dudes, and then I sprained my ankle in the
They
backyard
had a
in
good
between
team.
those. Yeah, they were nice. They were ranked, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was in my backyard, and my backyard there's cement, and then the cement goes down into grass, so it's like it's higher than the grass. So I was in my backyard shooting in some slippers, and my brother's homie came over. He went straight to the back. He was like, "What's up, Crismo?" And I was like, "What's up, dog?" And I was like, "Yo, Kobe." And I shot a fadeaway, and I sprained my ankle. I landed on the edge of the cement, and it broke, or it didn't. It was like a grade 3 tear, like my ligament.
This was the
And
this was the rest day in between the tournament.
this was the rest day in between the tournament. So I fall to the floor, and I immediately knew like, yo, this is different. This one hurts. And then so like I limp up in the house and I start crying. I call my mom, like, yo, mom, I just sprained my ankle, and she just starts yelling at me. So I show up the next day to the game against Los Al, and I'm wearing an ankle brace, and I'm wearing slippers, and my coach is like, what happened? And I told him, and whatever, I was out. But I was only a sophomore, so I wasn't like deep in the rotation. But I was like, yo, this is embarrassing. So then I go to the hospital. They tell me, yo, grade 3, whatever tear. Boom, I'm in a boot for like 2 months or whatever the case is. Came back, didn't really play a lot, and then junior year was whatever. That was the first time I got meaningful minutes on varsity, playing in like the best league in the country, I think, at the time.
South League. Was
Yeah,
it called the
like
Trinity
so.
League already, or was it still Sarah League?
I think they changed the name when I was a junior, so it was Sarah. No, I think they changed it my sophomore year,
Okay.
and then so senior year, I'm working out with like my guys. We're working out every day. I'm killing. This is like I felt, I was fast, I was athletic, and then we start the season. We start off like pretty good, and then we're in the championship tournament of our own tournament, or championship game of our own tournament, playing against Loyola I think they're from LA, private school. They're like, I think they were like a football school at the time, and
Yeah, it's
then
solid.
they had, yeah, they're always a solid sports school. I mean,
Yeah.
most like private schools. So we're playing in championship game, and they got this dude named Miles Cartwright. So
Okay.
if you watch the Netflix documentary about some like the kids playing basketball or playing sports and their parents are like on them tough, like his brother is like one of the main characters in there.
Okay.
And his brother ended up going to Arizona,
Mhm.
something Cartwright, I forgot his first name. Anyways,
Okay.
so we're playing this team and we're like down or whatever. And then I remember clearly in the third quarter, where I went off. Like I scored 13 straight points, and I had like 18, like at the like somewhere in the third. And then I remember when I tore my MCL in this game, so I was feeling it, and I was just going like off instinct. That feeling you get, that the feeling that we all chase, that high of
Yeah.
like just everything is
Into
easy.
that flow
So I
state.
drive in. Yeah, definitely. It was easy. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. So I remember I was driving into the paint with my left hand. I was coming from the right wing, driving into the paint, into the middle. And then I pro hopped back to the right and twisted my body. And when I twisted it and landed, my knee hit this dude's knee. Like he like kind of like, it kind of gave me a Charlie horse, but he hit my knee. And my knee buckled in, and I tore my MCL. And that dude ended up, he was like a D1 football player. So he had a big ass knee. And then it tore. I had no idea what about knee injuries, and I went to the bench. The trainer was like, "I think it's your MCL," and the only thing I heard was CL. So I was like, I immediately like related it to ACL. So I thought she said
Hmm.
ACL, but so I was out 2 months. I played 6 games, out 2 months. Then I came back in the playoffs, or the last game in the league. It was against Mater Dei, like top 10 in the country. That was senior
All
night
this
too.
stuff.
We play,
Yeah.
yeah. So we get smacked. I go to the playoffs, play like 2 games. But that rehab period, um, like it was probably the hard. This is the first time I ever went through that. I think 3 weeks in a brace, immobilization, so you're not moving your knee. Then you get your range of motion back. So after 2 months, I was back on the court. I was back a little early. The doctor was like, "Yo, you need like this amount of time, but it's your senior year. You can play if you want." I was like, "I'm gonna play." So, but in that time, man, like I was crying because it was my last year of high school, and I didn't know if I was gonna go to college or not. And at the time, like I think the coach was looking out for me, So the school that we were like kind of targeting, that he had connections with was Santa Clara, right? So I was like, damn, Santa Clara, like D1, like
One.
fucking Steve Nash. Like I'm like, yo, this is
Yeah.
sick. Like, hell yeah. So then he was like, yeah, you can walk on, or I could probably get you a partial. And after that game, they were asking for my tape. So I was like, oh damn. But I was like, damn, I just tore my MCL. So they were like, yeah, they might. I don't know if they'll look at you. So I was like, whatever. So let me get back on the court. So I was working hard, man. Like when I got off the brace, my coach, he was really looking out for me, Coach Madigan. He
This was junior
put
year going
shoes
to
on.
senior year?
No, this was my senior year. This
Oh, this
happened
was
during
okay.
senior year. So I was hurt
Okay.
the whole year. And then we were working out. We were going in the pool with shoes on and trying to stay afloat for like um however long, I don't know. And then like we would get a water jug and it would be empty, and I would fill it up in underwater, bring it back up, pour it all out, do it again. Like we were doing like some stuff to like take pressure off my knee. And then
Yeah.
I ended up coming back, and the crazy thing was, man, like when I came back, I felt like I was kind of scared, but I was like, man, F it, dude, I'm going hard. Like I didn't
Yeah.
even feel like I was injured. I felt like I could jump higher. And then I ended up making second team all league, and I played one game in the hardest league in the country. So I was like, the respect was there because I was working so hard. So I was like, damn, like, I could take this further. So that was the biggest injury. And when I went to college, I had no injuries.
Yeah.
So I had like a sprained ankle, maybe. I missed like 1 or 2 games out of like 100. I remember seeing it. It was like 122 games. I played like 119, something like that in 4 years. So there was no injuries there until after my senior year. I was playing at
Yeah,
Cal
man.
Poly Pomona, and then I broke my hand, and then that's kind of I got more injuries after that. But the hardest part is like just the rehab. Like a lot of people that have been hurt know that the
Yeah.
hardest part is rehab. But if you have that end goal and like if you really love something, you're gonna keep going, and that's what I did.
Yeah. And let's talk about this recent biggest injury you've had when you were in the PBA, man. You were out for 2 years. Um, you get surgery. The doctor kind of misdiagnosed your surgery, and you had to get surgery again to fix it. And it kind of prolonged your recovery process even more. So,
Mhm.
what's like the thought process in that? And what emotions come up in that moment when you found out that the doctor fucked it up, and you know, and it's gonna take you a longer time to get back on the court. You know what I mean? Talk about that experience, and now I see you thriving, man. Playing very like you're playing like a seasoned vet even more. The way you move, you understand your body more. So let's talk about that process from that beginning to ultimately feeling how you feel now.
And well, what I think started was when I was in Singapore, right? So I played ABL in Singapore for 7 months, and at the start of the season, like before the first game, I remember like we were scrimmaging, right? And it's hot as hell over there, like, and the gym we're practicing was no air conditioned, and I just remember the play was like, um, I think I was on offense, and then we turned it over, and then someone threw an outlet pass, but I got back. And then when I got back, like the ball was in the air, so I'm looking up while running, but there was a wet spot, right? So I think as I took off or when I landed, I hit the wet spot, and like I don't know what happened. I didn't feel like no crack or nothing, but I just know I was like, damn, I need to sit out, like my knee, like whatever. So I sat out. I felt good, whatever. And then like as practice went on, because at Singapore we run a lot, so just running, I was like, damn, man, my knee's kind of hurting. Um, Whatever, like, and I didn't think nothing of it. And then eventually I was like, yo, man, I can't bend down. So I went to the doctor. They said, yo, you have a little cartilage damage. So I was like, damn, what's cartilage? Like, I only know ACL, MCL, like,
Yeah.
meniscus. So he's like, yeah. So you have like there's like a instance where you like hit something like really hard, and I think that's when I fell. So they filled it
Mhm.
up with like some gel. Like, so I got a shot in my knee. It's supposed to be like they're like, yo, surgery or shot. I was like, let me get a shot so I can play. So I get a shot, I play, and then whatever. I finish the season out, and then I come play with Talking Text. I signed with Talking Text, and then at the time I broke my hand in the playoffs at the ABL, so I was sitting out like I think 2 months because I couldn't sweat and all that. So I gained a little weight, and then I went back home before the PBA season or before I came back. and I gained a little weight, and so I was already a little heavy. So I think that might have played a role. And I was playing with TNT, and I would feel my knee hurt on and off, and I would have to get that same shot, like a gel shot, to give you
Yeah.
fluid in your knee so it moves freely. And then I played a year with TNT. I played 3 conferences, and then I think it kind of caught up to me. My knee was like hurt, and I was like, bro, I can't even sit down. Like this hurts, bro. And then I was telling the doctors, and then they're like, nah, you're good. Like, and then the coach was like, you're good. You know, it's just a pain thing. But I was like, nah, man, this hurts. And then so I come to find out, like, this is the same type of injury that like Brandon Roy, T Mac, um, I think Steve Francis, like,
Mm-hmm.
basically you need to you have a hole in your cartilage, so you're bone on bone. So I was like, yo, I need surgery because I'm not gonna do this. I'm young, you know, so I need to fix this now. So then I tell him like, yo, I need surgery. So I end up getting surgery, but so there's like 3 key steps to the surgery. I think like you clean the area up, you fill it up, and you seal it. But when you fill it up, you're supposed to make it stick. Like it's like basically like vulcanizing a tire. So what they did was they did it, but they didn't make the thing stick, so it fell out. Whatever filled my hole up, it fell out, and then so it didn't work basically. But the
Mm-hmm.
whole time they did it, I was sick. They said you'll be back in 4 to 5 weeks or something. So I was like, oh, cool. 4 to 5 weeks turned into like 3 months, and I'm like, yo, what's happening? They're like, oh no, you'll be back. Don't worry. I come back to the doctor. He said, oh, in a couple more months. And what turned into 4 to 5 weeks turned into 18 months. So, you know, when you get an injury like an ankle sprain, you're like, oh, I'll be back in a week. You'll know. Like this, I'm like thinking I'm gonna be back early, but and it gets prolonged, and that like really messed with my head. Like I was
Yeah.
like, yo, am I ever gonna be able to play again? Am I ever gonna be able to walk up the stairs without pain? Am I gonna be able to sit down and eat foods without pain? Am I gonna be like, you
Yeah.
know, because it would hurt. And then it wasn't until I got traded to Rain or Shine, uh, I went there, and then, you know, I was kind of like just added in. Like I wasn't even because they traded Jericho for me and Sydney.
Yeah.
Oh no, for Sydney, and it didn't go through. So that yo, you need to add one player. So I was like, or they added me into it. Like so the trade happened. Like let's say it happened on a Monday, and everyone was like, oh shoot, bye, you know, like see you Sydney, good luck, yada yada yada. And I'm the next day I'm working out at Ateneo. I'm in the pool. I'm doing my rehab for my knee, which is not going to get better because the surgery wasn't done right.
Yeah.
So I'm working out, and I see a missed call on my phone. It's the manager. He's like, "Hey, Kris, we just want to let you know you've been included in the trade." And I'm like, "What? I thought the trade happened yesterday." And then next
Mm-hmm.
thing you know, like they're like, "Oh, we had to add you in." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So then the Rain and Shine, they're like, "Yo, like you know, we want you, but you're hurt. You need to see our doctor." I'm like, "Okay, I'll see the doctor." And then he goes, you know, looks at my knee. He's like, "Hey, you should be playing by now because so and so had the same surgery and he's playing now, and that's less than 18 months." So I'm like, "Why aren't I playing?" He's
Yeah.
like, "Yo, we have to go back in and check what happened." So he went back
Yeah.
in, told me what happened. So they redid the same surgery, and you know, eventually I got better. But so this was like 8 months or 9 months after the first surgery. So I'm out another 9 months. So that's 18 months total. But man, I thought I was done. Like I literally thought I was thinking about working at Nike, getting my Nike discount, buying shoes. Like I was, I'm not even joking. Like I
that
thought I
that's
was
that
done. Yeah,
that's
go ahead.
crazy, man. Because that's kind of the whole thought process when you feel like things aren't going your way anymore. Your mind
Yeah,
starts traveling to places where it's like,
yeah,
man, this is it. You know what I mean? And you start thinking, like, you start just thinking of like the worst case scenario type of thing. And
hmm,
like I admire your persistence, man, and being so like mentally strong to be able to sit 18 months, man, and having to deal with what you had to deal with throughout that whole time with, you know, the
hmm,
lies, certain lies from certain people, having to deal with, you know, doctors not giving you the entire, you know, the proper diagnosis, and you
yeah,
know, getting traded in that time, man, and not expecting it,
yeah,
and then the team, rain or shine, telling you that they might not even sign you because we never asked for you. You know what I mean? And to
hmm,
be able to persevere through that is really admirable, man, and that just shows a testament of your persistence, your relentlessness, and your mental strength, man. So diving into that, man, like just for to kind of give advice to these younger generation of hoopers coming up and how the game is really played out here and how you as the overseas hoopers our jobs are very glorified, man. What we do is a blessing. I love what I do. I'm sure you know what I mean. To play for a
Yeah.
living is a great career, but you
Hmm.
know, no, they don't. People don't really see what you just talked about right now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
The
nah.
grind, the
This is a
everyday
whole.
grind,
It
the
was
mental
a.
battle. It's a mental battle.
It was a whole different level, man. Like that. This is where I saw the business side. Stuff with money was a problem. Like paying for my surgery. Man, like when I had my both surgeries, I had to take an Uber home. Well, the first surgery I took an Uber home alone while I'm drugged up. Like I'm on whatever they put me to sleep with. I'm feeling groggy. They're like, "Yo, is someone here to pick you up?" I was like, "Nah, man, I ain't got a car. Like
Yeah,
let me call an Uber." Like I literally, I didn't even think about it, but yeah, I took an Uber home with like my knee like up on the thing, and like I couldn't even walk.
yeah, man.
That was crazy. And
Yeah,
then, because you see like, like I don't know, NBA or even some other teams, out here, like, people will like come and help you out. And then I was like, yo, like I'm in the lobby, like, how am I getting home while I'm about to throw up? It was
yeah.
crazy.
Sometimes when
Hmm.
you don't have your family or any type of backbone out here, you're really on your own, man. And for
Yeah, for
that can make
sure.
or break you. And it's just
Yeah,
it takes
which is,
a different type of individual to be able to battle through that.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
So yeah, man. I mean, with that, let's talk about you being inducted into the Hall of Fame at Hope, man. Like
Hmm.
great. Like I remember following you when you were still in college. I think I was out here, and then just following your journey. And I was like, dude, this dude is killing. And
Yeah.
just watching your highlights and just watching you guys winning. I was following you guys, and I was seeing like Hope International winning this game, this
Yeah.
tournament, getting this far. I was like, dang, Hope's on the map. Because I remember going to Hope and actually trying out when they had the old coach. I forgot his name, and they weren't
Hmm.
trying to mess with me, and they were terrible.
Yeah.
So I always thought of Hope International as like a terrible program, and then for you
Yeah.
to go there your senior year and just turn it all around, stay there the whole 4 years, and then get the keys to the gym, you know what I mean, and just be the man over there. What's that feeling like, man? And being in the Hall of Fame, what's
Well,
that feeling like?
man, first of all, I had no idea, and it wasn't even my goal. I didn't even know they had a Hall of Fame, honestly, because when you think of, like you said, when when you think of Hope, like back in the day, like Hope was like they were. I'm not gonna lie, they weren't
They're
good
like the
at all.
Clippers of like the '90s.
Like even worse, man. Like they're like
Yeah,
it's like they were trying. It's like they were trying to tank, but there's no draft in
yeah,
the in
really
college. But
bad, really bad.
they were very bad. So when I got hurt my senior year, I had no offers, right? No nothing. Like I couldn't even like be seen because I wasn't playing. And then my coach sent me to this unsigned senior showcase, and that's where like D2s,
Hmm.
NAIAs, D3s, and junior college are, right? So it was like a 1 day thing with this dude named Todd Malecki, and he runs it. It's like up in Riverside. I think it was at Cal Baptist. So I went up there, and I had to rest an extra like month or 2 months after that senior year season because I came back early and I played there. I killed it. Like I was tired as hell, but I killed it. Hope, they were like, "Oh, we're interested in you," but they weren't that interested. They were like kind of interested, but it was mainly San Francisco State and Harbor City College because I knew my coach knew the coach at Harbor City College, Coach Looza. Is some Mexican guy. He was
Carlito,
cool, and
Carlito
Carlito,
Lagardo.
yeah, yeah,
That was
yeah.
my
There
high
you go,
school
there you
coach.
go. And is it
He
Lagardo?
coached me my junior year.
And he coached at Harbor after. I think that
He
was him.
coached at Harbor, and then he was an assistant under Gene Katie at Purdue. He coaches
I
over at
believe
Eastern
so.
Oregon right now.
Okay,
Good
I think
coach,
that's
man.
him. I'm not sure.
Great
I just know
coach.
there was a Z in his name. But yeah, so I ended up, I told San Francisco State called me the day of prom, and they were like, "Hey man, we want to offer you, I think like a half scholarship. You want to take a visit?" And I looked at my girl and I looked at Hillary. I was like, San Francisco State. And I had nothing. I didn't know anything about recruiting at this point in time. And then she was like, "Damn, that's far." I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's far." So I told him, "I'm sorry, coach, it's too far, but I appreciate it." And I hung up and I went to prom. And I could have just took the visit, whatever. So that happened, and then I just went on and went to prom, went on with my life, and then like halfway through summer, I'm like, yeah, where am I gonna go to college? Like, am I going to Cal State Long Beach? Am I gonna be a nurse or like what's gonna happen, dude? Like, so then, but I'm just
The
like,
default.
oh man, yeah. So then my coach, he started taking me. He took me to Cal Poly Pomona to do some open run, but we were late. We went to Cal Poly Pomona. They were done with the runs. So the coach, there was a couple players that they were, hey, play 3-on-3. So I was playing 3-on-3, and then the dude we came with, I forgot who it was, but he was trying to hype me up. He was like, because the coaches were like in the gym, but they weren't really watching. So he would every time we do something like, yeah, Kris, like he would yell, so the coaches would look, but nothing happened with that, right? Then I go to Cal State Long Beach, and I'm playing the open runs there, and I'm over here, I'm like, yo, these dudes are good. Like Casper Ware, there was this other small dude. He was like nice. He was small dude. He played behind Casper, so like he never really played. But I'm like, yo, this is the bench player, and he is cooking right now. I mean, I'm talking about Chris, double crosses, pull up jumpers, everything. So whatever, like it didn't work out there, but that was a dope experience. And then coach tells me, hey, there's this school, Hope International, but I could already tell he didn't want me to go. My coach,
Yeah.
he said, you could try it, then you take a look, whatever. So I called my homie up, Christian Darrett, shout out to Christian Darrett. Said, hey, bro, I need a ride to Hope International Fullerton. At this time, like, I've never been to Fullerton.
Yeah.
I don't know what Hope International is. Now, we pull up and then you see Cal State Fullerton, right? Like, oh, this is a dope school. And you're like, oh, this, and then Hope is across the street. I'm telling you, Hope is not bigger than a football field. It is not bigger than a football field.
It's a small school.
So small. So I show up there, I work out, the coach takes me
Dope gym
around,
though.
but everything's, yeah, dope gym. Best gym in the G-Sac probably. But we walk around the school, right? And he's showing me everything, and I'm just like, all right, this is cool. But I'm like, yo, where's the rest? And he's like, this is it. This is the dorms. This is the gym. This is the cafeteria. These are classrooms. And it used to be a shopping mall, by the way. So I'm like, whoa, okay, whatever. But then what intrigued me was the gym, right? So I was looking at the gym, and I saw it was blue and gray. And all my life I've been wearing blue, like St. Bernard's blue, St. John Bosco blue. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like I got a bunch of Adidas at home that are blue. I can rock with this, and it's not even that far. And they're like, yeah, we'll give you a scholarship, yada yada yada. And I work out for him, and I'm killed in the workout. And he was like, they offered me, and I signed, and then so I signed late in the summer, and after that he was like, yo, you can come every day if you want. So I come every day. He's like, it'll be open. So I come, no one's in the gym. I'm like, this is a beautiful gym. So I'm out there working every day. Like I just drive up there with my homie Tim. We would get the MacBook out. We would like film ourselves shooting and stuff. Like we just go up and like, yeah, they don't care. Like, whatever. So
That's dope, man.
but yeah, we were trash for 3 years. Like we won my first year. We won 4 games out of 30. We were 4-26. We won 4 games straight, and I was like, yo, we're about to break the record. Lose 26 straight.
Yeah.
26 games straight. And then whatever, second, third year, same thing. Oh no, actually we got better and better. And then my senior year, when you take a school that goes 4-26 to 26-8, you're gonna turn some heads, right? So that's what we did. Me and my boys, like we were in there working. That's when Damian Lillard came out with he got drafted, but he had that YouTube where he was working out called License to Lillard.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone's seen me and Jeremy, he was the other guard that me and him got signed. So we came in with a new coach. My first year, he was a new coach. So it was a new beginnings, whatever. And we would watch License to Lillard, and we would go in the gym and do the same workout, like every day. And we would like kind of modify it. And we were in there, man. We were like, yo, we got to get this gym packed by the time we're done. You know what I'm saying? We got to win. And we were 26-8. We were beating top 10 teams. I was dropping like 15, 20, 25, getting like double doubles. I remember clearly too, Casper, where I really looked up to Casper, and like, I'm the type of guy that I watch someone play, and I just like, I'm like, yo, I want to do that. And so I find a way, how can I be like that? So I wanted to be the Casper Ware of NAI, like of the GSAC. So I would pick up dudes full court, and I would not let them get past half court. I would pick dudes like twice in a row. Like they would be scared. I'd be like, yo, you're not gonna pass half. I wouldn't say it, but I'm like, yo, you're not gonna get past.
How's the
Like, that was my
mindset?
thing. That was the mindset, bro. Like I would literally like work on my defensive stance. I would work on squatting and like just sitting there, like, yo, like you're not gonna get past me. But yeah, we
Talk
just
about that
made it,
hard
and
work, man. Talk about that hard work you put
yeah,
in, because when you do that much work and you're that that purpose behind it, and you have your boy with you, so like that energy is even like that. That energy is combined, man, and you guys are pushing each other, and then how much confidence that translates. You know you're putting in the work, and you have that edge over the competition because you know how hard you guys work. Talk about
yeah,
that, man, and because
yeah,
I can relate to
yeah,
that, man. When your head is down and you're putting in that work, that no one's gonna stop
yeah.
you.
No, no, no. Especially when you do it as a collective unit. So, I hope like my coach told me when I signed before I signed the paper, the coach of Hope left the room. We were in his office, and it was me and my coach and my mom. He was like, "Look, hey, if you go here, you're not gonna win right away." I was like, "Yeah, no," but really, I didn't know. I was just like, "Man, I'm trying to sign this and go enjoy my
Trying to get
summer."
school paid for.
He, yeah. So then he was like, "Look, if you're gonna have some tough years, but if you get a group of guys around you." And you guys, 5 or 6 guys, and you guys stay at it, you guys will win. So and I took that to heart. Like I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we would that first year we had leftover players from the previous coach, and they were all cool,
Mm-hmm.
but they were all seniors. They were just kind of like they'd been losing a lot, so whatever. So then coach recruited a couple guys, and we would work out, and we would talk with each other, like, oh man, like this is a dope gym. We're all playing in front of our families. How we got to work, bro? Like, so all right, we're gonna meet up here. We'll work in the morning before school, or we'll work after at night. We'll get reps in. So we would, we do license to Lillard stuff. We play one-on-one shooting games, but we would do it as a collective unit. And as the years got by and we got better, coach would recruit better players, more character guys, and then we would do pick and roll stuff. We would look up stuff on YouTube,
Yeah.
and then other than that, the big thing with me, how I think I got to those awards was, so I've never had a trainer in my life, like never. I just watch N1 mixtapes, go to the park, play with my homies, and try to cross people. And then
Yeah.
my mom and dad, they're like, yo, like there's this trainer. I forgot his name. I don't even want to say his name because goes down a crazy story. But so I get with this trainer, right? He's background is Marine, right? He's a Marine, Marine Corps, play basketball in the Marine Corps, whatever. Because they have a team, like they have like the Army, like something with like the Army, like they play against the Naval Academy. So
Mm-hmm.
he takes me. He's like, hey, look. He sits down with me. He's like, yo, you have to sign a contract if you want to work out with me because you have to pay monthly and it's like some serious stuff, right? So I'm like, what the hell? Like,
Mm-hmm.
all right. Like my mom, they're like, you want to do it? We'll invest in it because you're going into your senior year. Never had a trainer, and this guy was more like getting in shape. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So let me tell you, man, I'm not even joking, man. Like, so the schedule is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 days a week, right? People are like, man, you gotta
Uh-huh.
work out. No, 4 days a week with this guy. All right. Sunday, you go to Griffith Observatory. Everyone knows like that place is a trail, right? You walk up and down.
Yeah.
But I would wake up at 3:30. No, I wake up at 4:30 or 3:30 a.m. on a Sunday,
Yeah.
and then I would eat oatmeal and drink green tea. Leave by like 4. Get there at 5, before 5, because the workout starts at 5. I think it was at either 5 or 6, but we start at that time, so you got to get there like 15, 20 minutes before. We would
Yeah.
the first. I remember the first day too. He was like, "All right, if you're late, don't come." So I came. I came early as hell. I was scared, right? Because this dude is like 6'7", like big black dude. He was in the Marines, so his stature and the way he talks to you is just like intimidating, man. It's just like,
Yeah.
yo, what the hell? So we were started at the top. He was like, we warmed up, whatever, and the warm up was pretty hard, right? You have to do like 100 curls, like that was some crazy shit, and then we would
Yeah.
walk down Griffith Observatory. He walked me all the way down. He said, all right, you're gonna start right here, right, all the way to the bottom. It took like 15 minutes to get down, maybe like somewhere around there. And he said, all right, I'm gonna walk back up. And what I want you to do is right now, you got to do like 100 push-ups, like 100 curls, like 50 like jump squats, something, something, something. And
This
then
first day.
yeah, this first day. So you start down there, and he's walking up already while I'm doing that. And I did every rep. He was like, if you don't do the reps, I'll know. I was like, oh shit, man. So I was doing it, and then you run up, and then he said, once you see me, you stop where I'm at, and then you do it again, or I'll give you further instruction. So I would run
Another
up,
100.
and I'm talking. No, he would give me. It was like this. It would be something similar to that, but it would be a different set of stuff. So I'd get to a certain point. I think there was four levels, right? So I'd run up, and when you're running up, bro, at 5 in the morning, and like I'm talking, I couldn't feel my arms. and then we do another thing, and then he would walk up to the next level, and then so on and so on. But we would do this Sunday, right? And I was dead, like I was tired, and we were done with the workout by like 8 a.m. So like I'm dead at 8 a.m. Like I'm talking about I'm about to die, and I still got like the rest of the day. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. So you do that, and then Monday, same time, you meet at Dockweiler Beach, and Dockweiler Beach, the sand there is different than like Huntington Beach or any other beach. The sand is when you step in it, you're ankle deep. So I'm talking about it's some thick sand. So
Is that
we
in
go there, work out.
Marina Del Rey?
Yeah, yeah. It's like you take the 105 all the way down.
Yeah.
So I would go there Monday, and I'm talking about I was dead. Like your defensive slides, push-ups. You get a med ball, you have to throw it and like go get it. You have to throw it from pier to pier. So you start at one, not pier. You start at one tower, and then you
Yeah.
have to do overhead throws, run, sprint, grab it, and all the way to the next tower, and then come back. And then you would do like some crazy. I'm talking about it was some marine stuff basically, and I was dying. But and then Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday would be on the court, and we were running. There's this thing called the 626. I'll never forget. So he brings me to the court, and he's practicing with a semi-pro team. He's like, "All right, Kris." Like they're done practicing, and I'm on the court, and they're just watching me. And then I finished the workout, and I'm tired as hell. He's like, "All right, Kris, you got to run a 626 in 1 minute." I was like, "What's a 626?" 626 is 6 sprints up and back full court, and then two back pedals, and then another 6 sprints in 1 minute. And you have to do two of them under 1 minute. And I did it. And I played the night before in a Mexican league. I was playing. The game was like at 8 o'clock. We went into overtime, and I was up till like 2 a.m. And I had to be there at like 6 a.m. So I'm dead. I'm talking about this is the most tired I've ever been in my life. So whatever, like we do this for like 2 months straight. Don't miss a day. And then I go to my senior at Hope, All American. I'm talking about the first games, bro. I was like I told you, I was picking up 90 feet, picking dudes, like, and then I was dunk. I didn't get a dunk in college, but bro, like during that in like drills, dude, I was banging out one
This is the
foot,
best
two
you've ever
foot,
felt.
best I've ever felt. Like I'm talking about, like I would work out with, I would do my workout with him, then work out with team, and it was easy, bro. Like my confidence was so high, like. Anyone that like dribbled the ball, like I'm taking it. Like no one's getting past me. And then my favorite move was a bulldog, like a jab cross. You know, you throw it to the left and jab one way. No, like I
Yeah.
was doing it every single time. No one could like stop it. Because if you
I
get in
see
front
those
of me, I'm like
pictures.
pushing you off. Right? That's every picture. That's the same move, bro. So that's how I got there. But yeah, it was that dude.
Yeah.
That dude.
I can relate to that because I did the same thing going into my senior year over at Waldorf in Iowa, man.
Yeah.
When your head down, when your head is down and you dedicate, dude, you're doing that for what 2-3 months, right?
Yeah.
You know how much that span of that focus right there can set you apart from the rest. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
people don't
For sure.
understand.
Yeah.
Some people don't understand that that kind of focus will set you apart from the rest. And you waking up at that age at 3:30 a.m. You know what I mean? There's power in waking up that early. You know what I mean? While you're working,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
next
That
man is still
discipline.
sleeping. That discipline, man, and that
For
goes a
sure.
long way if you want to be a professional hooper, man. It's not going to come easy. There's a lot of challenges along the way, right? And
Yeah. Like
for you to be able to
especially with your
accomplish
friends.
that, yeah, man. You want to hang out with your friends. There's so many distractions.
Yeah.
You want to hang out with your
Yeah.
friends, and they're gonna try and tell you like, come on, man, it's just one day. Like, what you gotta wake up early? You know what I mean? It's always, there's always something to try and steer you the other way.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes that discipline and that focus, and you have a goal. You have a goal in
Yeah.
mind that you're out to set, and nothing's gonna
Yeah.
come in that way.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
I could definitely relate to that. I mean, I had no other choice because I was in Iowa, so I had nobody around me. I think that's what benefited me because
Yeah.
I was in isolation, man. And when you're in isolation, there's only one thing to do, and that's put in that work.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. For sure.
I mean, you had it harder. You're in Cali still. I mean, there's
Yeah.
distractions
Like a
every
lot
day.
of stuff.
So
Mm-hmm.
your self discipline is even like, at a stronger level. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That was and let's dive into some of these questions. I mean, we got a lot of questions here for us, for you as for both
Check it
of
out.
us, but we got some questions here. Phil Morrison, shout out to Morrison B-Ball. That's the homie. We were teammates back in Saigon. He said, "Ask Kris
Yo,
what
what up,
advice
Phil?
would you." He said, "What advice would you give future Philams about trying to make it in the PBA and adjusting, including politics and style of play?"
Oh man,
It's a good question.
that's like the hardest part, honestly. Because everyone can play, like, but can you adapt to like yeah, like the politics? Can you come off as a person that they'll want you? Because most of the time, a lot of guys come out here they play, but they're not. Sometimes they're not likable, like to the coaches, to the locals, the way they come off.
Hmm.
But at the same time, you can't change who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still got to be you. But I would say like you just got to be able to adapt. Like, I had to do that. When I played in college, it was dribble drive. But the team I went on in the D League, we weren't dribble drive at all. And I had the
Yeah.
ball 90% of the time in college. So I go to this D League team, and I don't know how to catch and shoot. I don't know how to you know be effective in one or two dribbles. I need the
Hmm.
ball and dribble drive. So
Exactly.
you got
You
to be
gotta
able to
learn how to
adapt.
adjust.
Yeah, and I didn't
You
adapt
gotta
until
evolve.
I probably like yeah, you gotta understand what's your strength and like is someone gonna want to pay you to do a certain thing, like can you play defense? For me right now, I think you gotta be able to play defense and then you gotta be able to understand your team's concept. You gotta understand, is this team, do they want me to dribble? Do they want me to catch and shoot? You have to understand your role. Like, am I the star player or am I going to be a corner catch and shoot guy? Am I going to be a defender, screener? You just got to be able to be aware of like what's wanted from you and what's your strengths and
Yeah.
how you can apply it to the team, so they'll pay you,
Kris, one
like it's all
second.
about,
I don't mean to cut you
go
off. We
ahead, go
got
ahead.
40 seconds remaining. I'm gonna end it right now, and
Yeah,
then we're gonna hop back on.
for sure, for sure.
All right, I'm gonna end it right now, and then just
Yeah,
request it back on. Everybody, tune back in. All right, this is we got
yeah,
30
yeah,
seconds
yeah.
left. We got to go back on. All right.
Let's get it, let's get it.
What up, RJ?
Yeah, I know. You're a big guy.
Let's get it.
All right, we back.
Are you
Uh,
hungry
what
now?
were we talking about again? Oh, wait,
Oh yeah,
adapting.
adapting. Yeah. To touch on what
Yeah,
you were saying, I think like there's so many good players out there, man. Everyone's very talented. When you get to this level, a lot of guys pretty much have the same skill set, and I think what separates is what makes you last long is the character.
yeah,
They don't talk about character, being able to get along with teammates, being able to be coachable, being able to kind of sit back and be a team player, but at the same time putting that work in every day to set
yeah,
yourself, to always stay ready. You always
yeah,
stay ready. And I think that's most important is to never like keep that foot off the gas. You always got to keep it pressed, and you always got to
yeah,
stay ready. I see that's what me and you talk all the time. Even what I mean,
yeah,
and just always staying ready and always being able to adapt, man.
yeah.
And
And
yeah, man.
one thing I wanted to say about that was one thing that um, helps people, or not helps people the most, but one thing that I notice is um, a lot of people, they kind of, not that they quit, but you just got to keep going because I remember in high school, there's a lot of good players in high school, and half the time someone doesn't make the team is because they just stop. They stop going.
Yeah,
They just stop. But with here,
yeah,
it's obviously different here in the Philippines because like I've read Phil's story. Phil's a phenomenal player, but certain situations outweigh like financially or long-term opportunities, especially if you're not playing in the NBA. Like NBA players make millions, right? So like you play, you chase that dream and you get one contract, you could be set for life. When you're chasing the overseas dream, it's like, yo, it's very calculated, like do you have a kid or is there job opportunities back home that will be better for your future, you know? But the
Yeah.
idea that you chased it, you know, you won't regret it. But you know, if you have the financial, if you're good financially and you can chase a dream, just keep going, you know? Like
Yeah.
if it suits your lifestyle, then but you know, there's certain people that have to make certain decisions to for their future. But
Yeah.
yeah, most of the time it's just you got to keep going. You just got to keep
Keep
going,
going.
man. Yeah,
Yeah. And to touch up on you guys stopping, you know, if you really want it, you got to understand that the adversity and that the challenge that you face is just, you know, it's just a little speed bump. You know what I mean?
exactly.
You
Yeah,
know, as humans, we tend to kind of shy away from the adversity. We shy away from the uncomfortable feeling.
yeah,
But for us to really grow and evolve, we have to embrace that. We have to embrace
yeah,
that pain. We have to embrace that struggle. We have to embrace those challenges because that's the only way for us to grow. That's the only way for us to achieve what we set out to achieve. You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah.
So I
And one
mean,
person I look at is you, bro. Like, you know, first of all, you remember we were talking about like how what does it feel like to be the only Filipino hooper in the gym? Bro,
yeah.
you were the first person I saw. Like, I think I told you this before. So we were at Linwood High School, and you know, I'm always up here playing. And then
Hmm.
one day, like, there's older guys playing before us, and it was you. So like, I was on the
For real?
bleachers, and I'm looking. Yeah, I was in the bleachers. I think you were with St.
Oh
Anthony's.
shit.
So I'm looking. I'm in the bleachers with my team. We're clowning around, whatever. And then I'm looking down, like, see this dude shoot a three. Like, it was you. You shot a three in the corner. I remember it too. I'm like, yo, what the hell is that dude Mexican? Like, oh, that dude's Filipino. I'm
That's
just looking at him
crazy.
like and then I'm not gonna lie, like I was like, who is that, bro? Like, cause you know, I'm just like, yo, that's tight, dude. He looks like me, like kind of like, you know, I'm like, so then
Yeah.
I'm just like, and then I remember like either asking about you or I don't know if I had internet yet. Like I like
Uh-huh.
would type in your name, like, oh, he played at St. Anthony's, yada yada yada. I think I asked Tim or
Okay.
something. Like, oh, that's Carl. I don't remember, but I just remember that this team. I'm like, oh shit. And then I remember seeing you play like in like Cavite or something. I was like, oh, dude, that dude's tight. So like, and then
That's
now I
dope.
know you and I know your story. Like you've been through it, like you've been through, you know, at the bottom and you've been at the top. You know,
Yeah.
you've branded it out. You've had a kid while you were like having, you know, it was tough. So
Hmm.
whenever I'm in a tough situation, I look at other people, whether it's you or like, you know, people I look up to in the NBA, I'm like, yo, like what would they do? Like, you know, he kept going.
Yeah.
Why should I stop now? You know, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
die if
man.
I keep going. So, you know, that's a big thing for me.
Yeah. You're not gonna die. That's what it is. You
You're
just
not gonna
keep
die.
going, keep pushing. You're gonna,
Just keep
if
going.
you don't reach your goal, then you know you'll understand that. Okay, I gave it my all. You know the signs will be there, and we just have to be receptive to these signs that pop up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I want to talk
That's
about you when you saw me out there, and when you saw me playing, you resonated because you saw somebody that looked like you. And I
yeah.
want to talk about that as for us growing up. We didn't see very many Filipinos or brown skins in
No,
you
not
know
at all.
playing at a high level. So we didn't know we never knew what it took to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And guys
What?
that were playing here already, they never came
What you
back.
need?
You know what I mean? To talk
Hmm.
to us or tell us, you know, the way to go because maybe you know there was
Yeah.
no internet. You know, it was a
Banana?
different time. But now
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
No
have
banana?
we're able to do that. You know, so that's what I want to tell you about is like we need to continue to give to give
Give back.
back. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
know,
for
we need
sure.
to show these Filipino kids, anyone, you know, kids
Yeah.
of different cultures that, you know, you guys can make it, man. You guys can make it in this world. You guys can
Okay,
achieve these
okay,
goals that
I
you're trying to
guess
achieve
not.
because, you
No
know, we're a
banana?
living testament to achieving
Okay,
what
okay,
we
let's
wanted
get
to
banana.
achieve. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
And
Like I think coming up in LA area at that time, you know, like you said, there's no YouTube. I mean, there was YouTube later, but like when I was young and you were young, like you didn't hear about any Filipino baller in LA. Like the most I heard was like when I got into high school or eighth grade. I heard Ryan Reyes. You know, you hear
yeah,
Carl DeHessa, and then I honestly like off the top of my head, you know, from our area. I mean, you know, Jimmy, they're from like a little farther out. You know,
yeah.
Alex, all
But
them. So, but like our area, like you know, 562, like 310, like you
it's
don't
just
really
me and
hear.
Ryan.
Yeah, like so. First, I saw you,
From
right? So
five
I'm like,
six two,
okay, like
from five
he,
six two, yeah.
yeah. So like I see you, and that you know that's something that I want to relate to. I'm like, okay, he's not like Yao Ming, like he's like 6 feet. Like okay, that's probably something I can mimic, you know. So you look
Yeah.
up to that, and then you hear the word Ryan Reyes. Like I never really knew he was until I got to high school or when I started playing at the parks. And then so now I'm like, who's Ryan Reyes? So like when the internet comes out, you look it up, and then you know I seen him at the park one time, and you can see this aura like, yo, that dude's a pro, like
Yeah.
or he's a hooper, like the way he
Mm-hmm.
carries himself, the way you're like, damn, I want to be like that. So like you said, like giving back to the community, like to like people like us or like just anyone in general, like um, I feel like it's a lot easier now, like what we're doing right now. People can hear this
Yeah.
or YouTube, so. But yeah, like there wasn't really no one. I'm sure there probably
Yeah.
was, but I never heard about it back in the day.
Dude, I remember growing up and watching Ryan play, dude. He was I think I was in 6th grade, and it was the Nike Extravaganza over the Long Beach Pyramid. He
Yeah,
was a junior at the time, and they were playing Dominguez. And they had Tyson Chandler,
yeah,
um, you know, Bobby Jones, Keon Kindred, all these cats, man. And he was the only Filipino cat on the floor, and
yeah.
he was playing for
That's
Artesia. They were
dope.
nationally ranked at the time, dude. And dude,
Yeah,
watching him, I was it's like that's who I want to be like right there, man. And
yeah,
dude, I've idolized him since I was a kid. Like coming up, I was like, I want to be exactly what he is right now. You know what I mean? So I was just like, man, if he can do it, like come, play at this high level, I could do it. You know what I mean? And
exactly. Yeah,
for him, he was a super inspiration to me coming up, and because he was someone that's played at the highest of levels on. You know what I mean? He played,
yeah.
dude, Artesia at that time,
Powerhouse. Capona.
powerhouse.
Like yeah, like
Crazy.
when I heard his name and I heard because I would relate to it. He was like, okay, he was the only Filipino on Artesia, and like I was the only Filipino when I was a kid. Yo, that's super relatable. He's a guard. I'm a guard. He's Filipino. I'm Filipino. It's from like the same
Exactly.
area. Like so you just look up to him and you're just like, yo, like, and he's like a living legend. Like you would go to the park and like, yo, Ryan's in town. Like, oh damn, he's gonna show up at the park. So me and my
Yeah.
homies would go to the park. Like, oh, maybe we could catch
Yeah.
him on a run. And then, I caught him a few times on a run and we would play. I'm like, yo, damn, I want to be
Yeah.
like this dude. And then the crazy thing
Yeah.
is now we're all out here, like, and if it wasn't for him, would I have, would I have someone to look up to? Like, when you're
Exactly.
like in the summer, you're like, what would Ryan be doing? Like, would he be working out right now? Like, I need to work out. I'm trying to get where he's at. I'm trying to win
Mm-hmm.
championships. I'm trying to get paid to play. So
Yeah.
that's a big thing, having people to look up to.
Yeah, man. Especially from our area, there's not too many. So I just think that he paved the way for us, man. He shout out to Ryan,
Yeah,
man. I
for
don't know if
sure.
he ever tuned in.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can
Get
get
him
him on
right.
here one time. All three of us would be dope.
Yep.
It's like 3 different generations of like 5'6" hoopers that came out to hoop out here. So that would be sick.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
would be sick to get all 3 of us on
Got
here.
to, got to.
Yeah, man. I mean, this was a long show, but let's dive into a few more questions, man, because there's some people that Andrew Castro, shout out to Drew. He said touch on Cavite League in California and how that helped shape you. Cavite League,
Man.
always fun. She was fun.
Cavite was fun. That was my first introduction to like playing basketball with Filipinos, honestly. Because before that, I was just playing in Bellflower. With the brothers, the Mexicans. Like maybe one Filipino kid at my school. I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah, like Cavite was fun. Like you would look forward to it every Sunday. Like I couldn't sleep the night before. Like Saturday nights, I was like, yeah, I can't wait to like whatever,
It's
do
so
whatever,
fun,
like have
man.
fun. And the funny thing is, I remember that's when YouTube started getting hot, and that's when the Check the Hate Part 2 or Part 3 came out, which is Kobe. It was a
Uh-huh.
Kobe mixtape, right? So
Uh-huh.
it was it had like an Eminem like song on it, and I would watch it every night or like before the games. I would get hyped. I'm like, I'm trying to be like Kobe, like trying to like
Yeah.
like be mean and like just. So I would watch that for the games, and then yeah, it was hype. And then and that's when I made a bunch of friends in that time, like Filipino friends.
Yeah.
We would hang out after the games. I had like lifelong friends from that, like Mark Nazareno, John Paredes, like Tim, like everyone, man, like. And it was fun, like just the community, the community thing over there.
Yep.
But
Exactly.
it definitely
Community.
just introduced me to a bunch of like Filipinos that I need, and to like kind of like relationships, and it was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, man. A lot of good friends of mine came through, the Filipino hoop scene, man. And I'm super happy to be able to be introduced to the Cavite League and being around playing basketball in Carson and Long Beach and stuff, man. Because I was able to get introduced to the Filipino side, my Filipino side. When I lived in Cerritos and going to Bosco, I didn't really hang out with too many Filipinos. I wasn't around that too much
Yeah,
until I moved to Lakewood and started hanging around
yeah,
Long Beach and Carson.
yeah,
But yeah, man, I think those Filipino leagues are very they're influential for
yeah,
to keep us close. You know what I mean? To keep
yeah,
everybody in a tight circle, man.
yeah. And on touching on that, when I would watch the older guys play, because when I played, I was playing in the younger ones, like uh, eighth grade and under, or like like I forgot what the age is. I don't know, but I would watch the older guys play, like Rosario, my brother's team, Tanza. Forgot the other like Emus and all them. So I remember like them games used to be crazy. Like I'm talking about. I mean, there
Popping.
wasn't like not everyone played college ball or whatever, but the competitiveness was fierce. Like I'm talking about like dudes were like
Yup.
there's fights,
There
like
was some hoopers there,
Filipino
man.
Filipinos love to fight, like they like going at it. And I
Uh,
clearly remember
Ross.
like because my brother's team was pretty scrappy when I used to watch. Rosario was always the top team, and then one time I think it was Emus
Rosario.
or Indang. Yeah, Rosario. I'd be like, yo, them boys are crazy, like, because they had the nice,
We were
like, they were
nice.
like they were like North Carolina to me, I was like, oh, that's North Carolina. Like, you guys were
We
top
had
dogs, and
squad.
then
We had
yeah, I
squad.
just remember, man, there was a team from Carson. I don't know if it was Emus, but the dude that ran Rude Boys, was it Rude Boys?
Yeah, yeah, I know. I think that was.
Big
I can't remember
George, I
who, but
think.
I know who you're talking about.
I
Yeah,
think
I
it
know
was
who you're talking
George,
about.
right? Big
George.
guy
Yeah,
with his
yeah.
big Samoan guy. He had a son, big like little lefty, and I remember they got in a fight with I don't know who it was. It
Drew's
was like
team.
was it Drew? Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it
Drew
was the
punched
Drew's
him.
team. Drew got in a
It
fight
was
with the
Indang.
coach.
Was it Indang?
I think it was
I
on
think they were
Indong, and
Indang.
then yeah,
Yeah, they had the
yeah.
pinstripes. So I remember one year they came and they had Drew. I think they had Jr. Did they have Jr. Bonsucesa? He had like spiky hair. He was
I
wearing the
think so.
LeBrons.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
clearly remember I remember very small details about that team because like I remember he had the LeBrons on that had the straps, the white and black ones. I don't know who it was. Someone had that, but he was wet. And then
Let me
there
see.
was another dude.
More water?
Oh, General Trias. There you go. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to him. What up,
Thank you,
Curdy?
Tim,
Um,
for the memory.
yeah, appreciate it. But yeah, I remember like, and then my brother's team, they went to the championship. They played against Rosario, I think. I don't think you were
Uh-huh.
there though. You might have been,
Nah,
but it
they
was
said I was
scrappy,
too
bro. I'm
old
talking
already,
about,
man. They was hating. They were
yeah, they
stacked
were
already.
hating,
They
bro.
were hating
You
on
guys
me,
probably
man.
would have won. Yeah, it went
I
down to the
wanted to play
wire. Like I'm
so
talking.
bad.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just so fun, bro. Like I'm sure everyone has like that type of league. Like I remember the points, it was low too. It was like 40 to 50 or something. I don't know because it was the defense like was crazy and like people were probably so hyped up to play that like there's just so much, there's just too much energy. But crowd was crazy. Like it would get packed. It was tight though. Like I love that.
Man, I remember one year, Rosario, we had a squad. We had Ryan, we had Lance, Convento. Shout out to Lance. Lance was so
Oh
nice
Lance,
back in the
yeah, I
day.
heard he was a beast.
We had this dude named Scott Domingo, big dude from
I
like Santa
remember him.
Clarita area.
Did he look Indian?
He looked like a
He
white
was
boy.
dark. Man, I'm thinking about
Nah,
you guys had this really dark dude. He was like a big
uh,
man. I think when Andrew Castro was playing. Oh, shout out to Andrew Castro. He was smooth. I
yeah,
remember he had on some and
yeah.
ones.
Drew was a street ball legend, man.
Drew
He
was
always had.
smooth, bro.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Drew, man.
I used to hear a lot of stuff about him. He's smooth.
We had this dude named Kevin Delafu from Troy. We had a squad.
Okay.
Me and Drew were the youngest
Yeah.
guys on the team, so we would never play. So we
Yeah.
would always be on the bench this
Uh-huh.
year time. And then there was so much talent in this league. There was this dude, I think Don Dulai played in the league.
Okay,
Mike
I can see
Holbert
that.
from San
Carson
Diego
Palm.
played in the league.
Yeah.
John Ulowen was there.
Yeah, John.
So many hoopers, man. Drew played in the league.
Yeah.
Dude, there was
Drew
a
was
lot of
nice,
good
bro.
players. So It was high
It was
competition.
nice. But yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
man.
Everyone kind of ran through there at least once, a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. That's like
So
the yeah. Carlo
Carlo,
Evangelista.
Carlo was
Yeah,
nice, bro.
yeah.
Carlo was
He was
on
cold,
what's
man.
that one team? I forgot the name of the team. It was Ternate. Was it Ternate?
Darwin was nice too.
Darwin was
Yeah, no,
nice.
Carlo. He was
Ternate.
on. Yeah, he was on
Oh
Ternate,
yeah.
and the
Yeah,
brothers,
Ternate. There was a
Dinky
lefty
and
too. A
Don
lefty.
Don, Dinky and
Oh yeah,
Don
yeah,
Don,
yeah.
two guards.
I played with them. But what's his name?
Yeah,
The lefty on Ternate. Forgot his name. I think he's from Carson. Lefty. I forgot his name though. He was smooth too. He was cool. I remember like looking up to him. I was like, oh, he's smooth. Like
yeah.
that's pretty
I'm trying to
tight.
remember, man.
His whole
If
demeanor.
I see the face, I'll be
Forgot
able
his
to
name.
bring him up. I remember
For
him
sure.
looking
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
face.
yeah.
Nice, man. Oh yeah, EC played it. They were with General Trias. With yeah, man.
Oh yeah, I remember
Good
EC.
times.
Oh, Craig.
Good
Craig
times.
Cara. Craig Cara.
Craig Carr was cold.
Yeah,
He
he
had
was
game, man.
smooth.
Smooth lefty.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think he could have played out here if he would have stuck with it.
yeah, for sure. That's what's up.
Man, there's so many good hoopers, man.
Yeah, the niggas
Man,
are fun.
we can go about this all day. We can save this for another episode, man. But
Yeah, we can talk about that later. We can talk about LA hoops.
let's talk about creative hoop project.
Okay, okay.
Let's talk about that, man. And that's your newest. I mean, it's not your
Yeah.
newest, but it's what you've been working on the side. Tell the people about that, man, because I think
Man,
what you have is fucking it's
creative.
dope.
Well,
So talk about that.
it's kind of cool. Because what we just spoke about, and like when I was younger, like in the eighth grade and all that, that kind of grew into creative hoop project. So when I got hurt, um, last year or 2 years ago, that's when I started it when I got into the PBA because I wanted to do something on the side, but I never really went through with it because I was so busy with basketball. But when I got hurt, I had a lot of time to think about it. So, Creative Hoop Project is basically, you know, like that community of what we were just talking about, like basketball, like what and anything that comes along with it, whether it's music, clothing, just kicking it with the homies, like us talking right now, like everyone's experienced that, like whether or when you're in college or high school, like the community you or the culture you were in and the friends you made,
Hmm.
like, and it
Hmm.
was all based around hoops. It's because basketball, whether you're like you love playing video games like 2K and you kick it at your friend's house because you play 2K, you guys are sitting there, chopping it up, playing, like, making fun of each other. Like that's what it is. It's that culture that people have experienced through basketball. And like, so I started making shirts when I was hurt. Me and my girl Hillary, she designed like a little coffee cup, and we called it like the slow grind T-shirt. So it
Yep.
was a coffee cup with and said slow grind. A lot of people liked it, so like, yo, let's make these shirts.
Oh,
And then
sure.
and I called it slow grind at the time because I loved coffee at the time. I started My love for coffee was growing while I was out here, and then um, Isaiah Thomas. I was watching Isaiah Thomas videos when he was hurt because we were hurt at the same time. And it was like
Hmm.
almost the same type of injury, but in his hip. So um,
No, we can work
what do you
something.
call it? So like I was really influenced by that slow grind, and then it kind of died out for a minute because I got back to playing, and then right now during the quarantine, I got back into it. But I actually got back into it a little bit before quarantine. I wanted to what do you call it? I wanted to come out with a shirt, this Kobe shirt, and then when I was getting it designed by someone out here, it turns out he passed away like a week later as I'm like trying to come out with a shirt. So I'm like, damn, like I can't come out with this shirt, like whatever. I don't want to sell it, yada yada yada. But I was like, the design is so dope that I got to come out with it. So I kept going with it. But when Kobe passed, like it kind of influenced me, like because he was doing stuff off the court, right, and he was going hard at
Yeah.
it. So I was like, it kind of like lit the fire in me, like, yo, keep going with this. Like, if I want to do it, I'm gonna do
Yeah.
it, and I'm gonna play basketball. And it's
Yeah,
something I
man.
could like, just you got to have something on the side, in my opinion. For me, like I need something to kind of take my mind off basketball.
Yeah.
And that was my idea to take well, it's still basketball, but it's
That's the main focus. But
yeah, yeah. But yeah, so
that's
I wanted to
go.
come out with like I have a lot of like there's an artistic side of me, because my dad, he's an architect, he draws a lot. I probably got it from him, but I like certain designs. I like wearing a nice t-shirt, so it's basically we're coming out with like t-shirts, anything that represents basketball in any way possible, and the culture of it, the community of it, just bringing people together through these pieces, like whether it's a t-shirt, a hat, but something people
Yeah.
can relate to that's not your typical stuff. Because anyone can make like a shirt, but each anything I make or come up with, that's gonna have a story behind it. It's gonna have a human connection, and that's what the Creative Food Project is about. So yes, sir.
And you just launched your website?
Yeah, I mean, it's still under the works. It's pretty much done. I just,
Okay.
with everything going on out here, I'm gonna launch it like
Yeah.
when we're kind of out. But yeah,
Wow. I mean, that's the beauty of this. People may look at this lockdown period and this this COVID thing as a negative thing, but with me, I'm looking at it as a time. It's a positive time for me. Outside of the things that I can't control, the deaths, the people getting infected by it. What the good thing for me is the stillness. There's peace. You know what I mean? There's this quiet aura around that's just like that keeps everything light, and
yeah,
it brings us back to what matters. You know what I mean? You're able to work on stuff outside of what your
yeah,
main thing is. You know what I mean? What we do is hoop, right? we,
yeah,
we don't have to be at practice every day, so we're able to use that time to work on stuff that we're passionate about, learn a new trade, read more.
yeah, for
You know what
sure.
I mean? Expand, evolve, like expand your being in a sense. You know what I mean? So um, it's just I just think it's a great time.
Watch it again. Oh shit.
Okay, I'm gonna need help again with the Ron's not latching today because I can feel more milk coming into my boots because he latched yesterday.
Okay. Did good yesterday, right?
Huh?
We did good yesterday with it.
Well, when you were in
The call.
yeah.
Noah, did you get water yet?
She kind of didn't wake up today.
Nas woke up around 5:15. No, he woke up like at 5. My bad, 5:45.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, he's getting better.
I thought you were trying to send me photos.
It's supposed to be for the laptop, my bad.
A great time right now. It's a big reset for everybody. I know some people are hurting over it, but even with that, I think we just have to find something to bring us peace during this time.
Yeah, just gotta find the silver lining, make the most of it.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. We can't feed that monster and let shit affect us.
Mhm.
There's so much shit
Yeah,
out there that we can't control. You know what I mean? And I just want to
yeah,
touch up on this because we tend to look on social media and see different news every day, people dying, and oh, there's a vaccine, or this is what you have to do to avoid this, or blah blah blah, and that gets taxing. People need to
hmm
realize that stay away from that social media shit because that doesn't do anything for you. There's
hmm
people around you that need you. You know what I mean? Pay attention
yeah,
to people. Be present. Be present during this time. And, I
yeah,
can say this, and I can't say that I've been the perfect person in this. You know what I mean? I've had my faults in it, diving too deep into it, but just it just takes awareness, man. You just have to grow your awareness, and this is everybody. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because it's just we're in a time right now where we just need to like kind of slow down and
Yeah.
appreciate what's in front of us. You know, our families.
No,
You know
no,
what I
no.
mean?
Yeah, it's perfect time for that.
Yeah,
Perfect time.
Did you get water yet?
yeah, man. It's been dope talking to you, man.
Yeah, for
Let's
sure.
just let's shout out some of the people that are here, man. That's stuck with us the
Yeah,
whole way.
check
Andrew,
it out.
shout out Drew,
Andrew,
man.
smooth.
Bro, Mark,
Back.
Mo was
Bro,
good.
Mark, Purdy,
Purdy was good.
the Fab
Who we
Five.
got in here? Kieran was good. K Shas. Uh, your homie Gradient Visuals, man. I love his work, dog.
Oh yeah,
Tuned in,
Gradient,
man.
the homie. Yeah,
Mark
he's
Navarro was good. Yeah,
Gradient.
Gradient, his shit is dope, man. I love following his
Gradient's
stuff.
in there, man. Gradient is in there. He's
The
the
OG
beast with his
Emil was
work.
good. OG,
What up, Emil?
I gotta get up with you soon, bro.
Prince. Yo, what's up, Prince? Look at this,
Prince,
man. Damn.
Prince, we need some help,
Oh
man.
man.
We need some help.
Prince, please. Please.
Your homie Kevin Ablaza, man. I laugh
Kevin.
at all the stuff that
Yeah.
you posted. He's a funny guy.
Biggest Laker fan there is, man.
Yeah.
He's a beast. Yeah, he's like Zach Randolph, bro. That's his game right there. Y'all see him on the story. Oh man.
Yeah, and to all the other homies that tuned in, man. EC, my brother Kevin was good, man. I miss you. I love you, bro. Who else, man? I don't want to miss nobody. Mac was good. Phil tuned in. DJ Mike E was good. Tim,
Mike E.
Nikki D. Probably not on here no more. Oh, this dude Tyler, Ty Cunningham. He asked me a question.
Yeah.
I think, and there's a few more. I lost the questions, man, but yeah, man, that's what. Y'all doing, what questions you guys got, man? Before we wrap it up. Ask Prince.
Oh God, man.
What you guys got, man? I gotta wrap it up, man. I gotta get to the family. I've been at this for a minute. Who wins one-on-one? Ooh. Who wins one-on-one? Of course, I'm gonna take myself. Ty, go ahead and leave your question, man. I lost it.
Canada.
Yeah, man.
No, I did not watch Last Stand.
How you guys been grocery shopping? Then everything's open, Emil. You're able to, and over where I live, everybody's like tied up with some farmers out here, so the community's kind of like doing like a trade and barter type of thing. So it's pretty cool. When it's homeboy,
Yeah, everything's open over here too. I'm gonna do it after this. There's a good stock over there. Oh, nice.
All right. Ty asked, "What's your schedule like as a PBA player?" I guess
PBA player,
like the everyday, the everyday thing.
Man, so like my practice, the call time is 7. So call time here is like you got to be here at this time, like at 7, and we start at 8. But the traffic out here is crazy. So I wake up at 5:30. I leave the crib like at 5:50ish, and then I get there like around 6:30 maybe. Chill like downstairs for a minute, and like I'll go up at 7 and then start my warm up. And we practice from 8 to like 10. Then you get some extra work in, like maybe from like 10 to like 10:45 to 11, kind of based on how you're feeling. But for sure, try to get something in. After that, head home. I'll probably get home like take me like 30 minutes, 40 minutes maybe, depending. Eat. After I eat, I'll like take a nap or like just chill for a bit. And some Tuesday, Thursdays, I'll have therapy, like whether it's I get massaged out or stretched or like re-strengthened. And then like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, depending how I feel, like I'll lift. Try to get a quick lift in. Like I don't really work out too long. Like before I used to work out like hour 30, but now like try to get it in like 45 minutes, 30, 45 minutes, depending on what I'm working on. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. And then you go home, and then after that I eat, chill, like work on something, watch TV or play video games or something. But that's pretty much the everyday thing, unless you have a game. That's pretty much it though.
Love it, man. I love what I do, man. This is living a dream right now. Being able to
Yeah,
be around basketball every day, work out for a living,
it's
being
like
around the
what we used to
family.
do, so we get paid. So
Yeah, it's a dope feeling.
it's pretty dope, but it's a lot of hard
Yeah,
work for sure.
yeah, man.
Somehow
Yeah, man.
you could give
It was dope to talk
one.
to you. We couldn't get to all the questions, but until next time, we should do this again, man. I think we
Yeah,
can do some things with this.
man. I
Jordan
I still
Clarkson
gotta
or
tell
Austin
you.
Rivers?
Oh,
I'm taking Clarkson, man.
Gradient. Gradient. I know why Gradient's asking this. You talking about one on one or on a team? One on one, Jordan Clarkson. But if you want someone on your team, no, we had an argument about this earlier though. Austin Rivers, baby.
Oh,
Carl,
Prince wants to know my
routine.
routine. My routine, right now, or let's say usually when we have practice, my practice is at 8 a.m. I'm up around 4. Get my routine in. I leave the house by 6. Get to practice by 6:30, and I like to chill. I like to like activate, get my work in, and then we go through a whole like hour and a half of practice, and then from there I'm home. You know what I mean? I'm with the kids. I'm enjoying the rest of the day, working on some other stuff. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. Just family and hoop. Making sure everything's tight at home, and yeah, that's about
If
it.
you could give one helpful tip to evolve someone's game, what would it be from both of you? You want to go first?
Um, keeping things simple, man. Basics, footwork, remembering to stay low, activate. You don't have to do no crazy moves. Just activate all the holy trinity of basketball dribbling. It's just like crossover between the legs and behind the back. And once you perfect that, it's just gonna come easy. You know what I mean? Working on that, keeping the shot tight, and just knowing your strengths. That's what I
Yeah,
get. Fundamental, exactly, Emil. Exactly. That's what you gotta
keep
do.
it simple.
Basketball's a simple game, and throughout the process, we tend to overcomplicate some things that are simple. So it's just
Yeah, for sure.
working on the basics, working on the fundamentals, just going to the basics.
I think just keep it simple. I realize that I don't do like if you want to get C time on the floor, you just got to keep it simple. Play defense, keep it simple on offense.
Yeah,
Follow the coach, put your head down and work. That's
exactly.
about it.
All right, we gotta head out.
All right, man. Here the
I want
kids.
to shout out.
Here Nas.
Thank you for everybody that tuned in, man. It was dope.
Man,
All the
yeah.
support, all the
It
love.
was, this is fun. Just shout out everyone that watched. Tune in, follow a line, and just he's gonna have some more dope interviews and talks and with other people, with other pros, and just tune in every time you see it live.
Yeah.
Dope.
Make sure you guys follow and share these please, and on the YouTube.
Yep.
We're on YouTube at Align. Also follow the Creative Hoop Project. A lot of dope projects we're doing. Kris is one of the most creative people I know, so he has a lot of dope shit coming out. And yeah, man, everybody stay safe. Enjoy your time with your families. And until next time, I'll be here on Friday, Thursday in the States. And Kris, you tune in too. Oh, shout out to the young bull, Jared, man.
Oh,
that boy got
Jared
game.
Brownie.
Yeah.
Next up, y'all.
He's next up, for real.
Coming in with the
Keep
heat.
working, boy. All right,
y'all.
Peace out, everybody.
No, can't have my number. All right, y'all. Later. Appreciate it, brother.
Yep.
In real.
You want banana?
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone, for joining in. It was a super long show, but we're going to continue to do this every week. It was a really long episode, but I hope you guys all gained some value from it. And I appreciate the support and the overwhelm of love you guys have shown. And we're going to develop this into a podcast very soon. Make sure to to like and subscribe the YouTube account, Align, and this will be posted there as well. So continue to support. Thank you. Taylor, you was late, man, but you can watch it on YouTube later.
Thank you.
All right?